Your question, please.
Thank you. I think it's pretty much agreed upon that in our society, in our culture today, we're very desensitized. Through technology, we're able to see on the nightly news tragic horrors throughout the world, war, suffering. And I feel that in the same hand that we're desensitized against pain and suffering, the parts of us that feel joy and passion also get desensitized. But we also can reach down into that, and some of us have managed to get below that and feel again the grace and make that stand that you talked about. How do we support the spouse, the neighbor, the friend who hasn't reached that stand? How do we bring them, as I think that you're calling us to do? How do we do that?
Our Lord is calling, not me. I couldn't care less. Yes. I tell you how you sensitize your spouse. Hit him over the head with a stick. That'll sensitize. All right. What you mention is absolutely crucial. It's so true. It is our problem. It is why the words have no meaning. It is the oppressive intellectualism in which we live in the modern world. Remember, the modern world is born out of René Descartes, who said that only that which he can think of exists. That is to say, existence was made entirely dependent on the intellect, and not just on any act of the intellect, but he said, only that of which I can think about mathematically, the pure ideas, pure logic. So you see, that's abstraction. That, no matter what, characterizes all the ideologies of modernity, all of them, and moves right into politics, sociology, everything, even religion. You see, we lose the capacity to grasp the concrete. The concrete is the material concrete, the fleshly concrete. We cannot grasp unique occurrences. We always generalize, we abstract, we want to categorize, so that we cannot see, we are not sensitive, as your word says. We lose sensibility, because you see, it is through the senses, not through the intellect, that I grasp the revelation. It is through the senses. Something concretely happens. I hear it. I see it. It attracts my senses. A community of friendship, of support that lives that way. Paul VI said in the encyclical on evangelization, you've got to go out there and live this way. Create a community of life that lives as best as it can this way. As soon as it happens, people will ask themselves, what's this? Who are these people? Where do they come from? You see, you have to send out attractive signals, but sensual signals. I don't mean like you dress up. Well, that helps too. Why not, Another question.
Is there not a danger if one pursues the concept that you've just enunciated without being tied in with, in our case, the church, that in fact you will create your own God?
The mind creates gods. The mind creates idols. The flesh reminds you very well that the universe does not respond to your God. A God created by you is a God at your service. It is your idol. The flesh reminds you that you don't know the God of it. The God of it will not be controlled. You see, that's precisely an important point. Fine. So therefore, My answer to you is precisely that is why I said it has to be cardinal. That is why I say this is not just some kind of intellectual. When you say the authority of the church, authority in the church, the authority that is incarnate in Jesus Christ continues in that event. An authority for him is the authority of the Father, and so forth. Where is it today? Is it some kind of function, some kind of spread out presence? Well, not for the Catholic Church. It's that man, that bishop, it's that pope, or it's that person in my community that is recognized as having that. It's the neighbor. It's my father. It's my mother. That's very concrete. And it has to be that concrete. Oh, yes, we must beware of idols. But my point is, I think it is the flesh that rescues you from idolatry, because it forces you to keep real. Aquinas, discussing the sacraments, he asks himself, why are they a good thing, a good idea, convenient? He doesn't say necessary, because nothing is necessary, everything is grace. Why are they? He says, because they force us to deal with the flesh, with reality, with this world, with matter, with other people. For example, take confession. Now suppose it would to say tomorrow the church would say, look, we're dropping that stuff. Nobody comes anyway. We've tried everything. Frequent confession programs, points, everything. Nothing works. So that's it. Just kneel and ask the Lord to forgive you. The Lord can forgive you. And sure, of course. Good heavens. St. Thomas Aquinas says, when you do not have a priest for confession, try your neighbor, etc. And he goes all the way to a horse. Just a little cartoon of somebody going to confession to a horse. Which end? Anyway, the idea is, yes, the Lord can forgive whoever and however. But there is something to the fact that if you want the knowledge, the sensual assurance, because you are in the flesh, then you move your flesh. You know the refrain, it tells you even what part of the flesh to move. You move your flesh over there, and you wait in line, and it's either too cold or it's hot, and then this creature staggers out. Ahead of you, who's been there for, 45 minutes, and you wonder, what did they start with original sin? As you're outside, you want to know, my God, that must be a fascinating story. And then somebody walks out, and you wonder, what the heck? It must be Catherine of Siena, who said that she was responsible for all the evil in the world. Thank God you weren't behind her in confession, let me tell you. All of that is bodily, contact. It's putting up with this. Aquinas says, yes, it has to be this way to prevent. It's good that it be this way, so that you don't have idols, so that you don't have deception, so that this is real and concrete.